At this point in the season, Red Bull have both the driver and constructors championships in the bag, but that doesn't mean that they're going to stay put for the rest of the season. Red Bull have a game-changing upgrade ready for Singapore that will allow them to dominate the rest of the season. But is it even legal? Let's find out. Even though Red Bull have been dominating the grid this season, the RB18 has its issues that still need to be resolved, the biggest of which is being overweight. With the RB18 being overweight, with an estimated value of almost 18 kilograms over the minimum weight allowed for a car empty of liquids of 798 kilograms, the team have been constantly trying to trim weight from the car, which at its most extreme led to Max's DRS braking. Rumours have been flying about a new chassis that could remove 4 to 5 kilos from the RB18. But building a new chassis from scratch is incredibly expensive, and the word expensive here is key. We'll come back to that when we discuss the legality issue around the new cost cap regulations. But for now, let's focus on what they're up to on the chassis front. The new chassis brings the RB18 closer to its minimum weight of 798 kilos, with a theoretical performance advantage of just under 0.2 per lap. This result was achieved by applying a different construction to the chassis, not in terms of design, which had remained the same, but by placing the fibers in a different orientation. By doing this, the same stiffness and strength as previously could be obtained, but with the reduced thickness in many parts of the chassis. As a result, the new chassis is lighter. The chassis has undergone the tension test for the 2022 technical regulations, meaning it is legal for this year. There were rumours that it was being homologated for next year, but that process is yet to begin, so it must be ready this year. By using carbon fibers in a different orientation, Red Bull have managed to save a huge chunk of weight. It is clear that this involves a major financial investment, both in the design and in the physical production of the new chassis. According to the team, the resources used by Red Bull are part of the extra budget of €4 million allocated to the team due to inflation. Sources reported that around half of this bonus was used for the development and manufacture of the new chassis. Some team bosses have been furious that Red Bull may have produced this new chassis as they don't think it should be possible under the budget cap. We'll get to the reactions from Mattia Binotto and Toto Wolff later, but first let's look at how they might have done this despite the budget cap. Red Bull have been using different spec cars in recent races. Sergio Perez confirmed that before the Dutch Grand Prix that they would continue to use different floor specifications on their drivers' cars. Christian Horner has revealed that the floor decision has been forced on financial grounds, with the team unwilling to build another new spec floor at this stage of the season amid the restrictions of the cost cap. Horner has been denying that the new chassis even exists, but we think that it 100% does. If Red Bull is saving money by not producing and fitting a new floor to Perez's car, maybe they're saving money by only producing one new chassis for Max's car. If budget caps are a concern, then just upgrading Max's car is actually the perfect move to ensure that they still take home 2 trophies, but don't have to suffer the repercussions of spending too much money. But talk of a new Red Bull chassis has got Mattia Binotto riled up. When asked about the possibility of Red Bull bringing a new chassis, Mattia said, "I cannot know what they're doing, if they have a lightweight chassis or not, but the budget cap is always a concern. Ferrari would never be capable of introducing a different chassis through a season simply because of the budget cap. And I would be very surprised if a team is capable of doing it. If they are, it's back to the regulation itself. Is it fair enough? Is it equitable enough? Is the policing sufficient?" Toto Wolff, on the other hand, seemed more calm about the idea that Red Bull is able to bring a new chassis. He thinks the FIA does have all the tools it needs at its disposal to make sure that all teams are respecting the cost cap. He said, "I have no doubt in the F1's new regime that they will not police robustly and they will be policing to what the government says. And the financial budget cap regulations are as important as sporting and technical. So let's see what the outcome is." Assuming that Red Bull won't go over the budget cap, fitting the new chassis to one car may seem unfair on Perez. But it makes perfect sense in the new regulations. This is a way to make use of the budget cap more efficiently for top teams. It wouldn't surprise us if we see more teams in Red Bull's position in the future, protecting their lead by only upgrading one car. It might be tough for the second driver to take, but F1 is a team sport as well as an individual sport. What do you think of this whole situation? Let us know your opinion in the comments. And while you're down there, leave a like and subscribe to our channel, and we will see you in the next video.